Okay, guys, welcome back again. It's your boy, the Legend FS Academy, and we are back again on the weekly analysis video, as we always do it. And before I proceed, first and foremost, I really want to thank those who are subscribing to my YouTube channel. I'm so grateful to you guys, and those who are watching, my returning subscribers and the new subscribers. I'm grateful to you guys. And again, let's quickly dive into this week analysis. So we'll be focusing on GBPUSD and what again? USDCHF and AUDCHF and probably GBPJPY if time permits. So now, first and foremost, we are on GBPUSD right now. And you all know last week I called this particular zone here. I've been calling this particular zone here that until we are able to break and sustain this particular zone here, that we are still technically bearish until we are able to break and sustain this particular zone here. And if you can watch my video to confirm when I said I'm keeping my eyes on this particular zone here now, that I'm keeping my eyes on this particular zone here. And when we got there, this guy collapsed all the way from coming down all the way from here. And that was last week before we have this particular long bullish engulfing candle. And this is another strength again given to us that the market is in a good form now, giving us this particular formation here. This particular formation now, this one here, okay, I'm coming. Just want to design it so that you can see what I'm trying to show you guys. Then this is the left leg, the right leg, and the head. This is what we call an inverse head and shoulder. And we have the head here. So when this particular move happened, I know a lot of traders didn't see it coming, including me. I didn't know that it was nobody knows. Let me not say only me. Okay, this one is not giving me what I want. Let me delete it and put up another one. I'm sorry, guys. So now, okay, let me just quickly do this. This is what I want. So now this is the head, left shoulder and right shoulder. So now it has given us this formation of inverse head and shoulder. And you know what? That inverse head and shoulder will not be complete until the neckline is taken off. And you know the principle of the principle of inverse head and shoulder, or the principle of any chart pattern, says that the neck must be taken out for the chart, for the pattern to be valid. The neck must be taken out. And in this case now, we have this particular, because initially when this guy was coming back with this bearish week, when this guy was pulling back, I was thinking that it was going to come fill up this space before I will buy from here. But it's quite unfortunate. I didn't know that this guy was going to, I didn't know that this is what this guy was going to do. Yes, I would say I didn't know, and technically I wasn't fully on the chart. That is why I couldn't know, because I was at work when all this thing happened. So it came here, it shoot up, giving me, it was later, and I sat down, I came down and reanalyzed, and I found out that this guy just gave us what we call inverse head and shoulder. That inverse head and shoulder, and you know that the principle of inverse head and shoulder states that before it will be valid, it has to take out the neckline of the inverse head and shoulder. And on this case, this guy has not taken out this particular zone here. This is the zone where I've been calling since last 2 weeks. You can go and watch my previous video to see I've been calling this particular zone here until we are able to take off this particular zone. We are not free yet. When we got here, the market collapsed. This zone here, it led to a break of a new structure. If you understand structure properly, it led to a break of a new structure. to the downside. So ideally, for this particular in temporal downtrend to be confirmed, it has to, this zone that led to this break of a new structure here, somewhere here, it's the market has to take it off. If the market couldn't take it off, that means we are still temporarily down. So I said it last 2 weeks, and that this is the zone that I'm keeping my eyes on. You can go and watch it so that you know. And the market still got there and collapsed back. So now let's say, okay, how do I enter? Since we have this particular rallied up last week Friday, we have this particular rallied up. So how do we enter this trade now? Because remember, we still have a long way to go. I'm still technically bullish on GBPUSD. Overall, it's still here. So, but we still have to have patience. We still have to have patience because the footprint now is clear. We are clear. GBPUSD has told us that, hey, I'm still bullish. But where and how to enter now is the major problem. So now let's quickly go over to 4 hour. Let me show you something real quick. Okay, you can see that we have this particular rally from here. This is the base of the rally. This is the base of the rally all the way from here. This is the base of the rally. This is where the market got to, and the market rallied. So now, if this market has a lot of momentum from here, you know, the market will not just keep on going. The market will not just keep on going up. If the market keep on going, it will violate the principle of structure. It will violate the principle of structure. So ideally, the market has to pull back, fill up space, and move on. And on this particular case now, we have the market left. This is a strong demand zone. I will be doing a supply and demand zone, how to know a weak and a strong supply and demand zone, and how to use a demand and supply in order to enhance your trading. So this is a strong demand zone here. The market got here. The market didn't just play around. It shoot up immediately, aggressively. So leaving all this space here, this space, some people call it fair value gap, some people call it inefficiency. So now, ideally, if this market can come at least half of this particular space here to fill up this particular space, or it should come back to this particular, because now the market now has failed. Assuming that this market has the strength, it could have just come and take off this particular high here. But the strength was not there. This guy couldn't move higher than this particular zone, because there was not a lot of strength for him to take off this particular high here. So it failed. Then it was not moving back. So now ideally, I will be expecting this guy at least to come half of. At least to come. I'm sorry. I'm expecting it at least to come half to this particular space here. Is either to come half or to return back. This is what I'm just hoping for, because I'm just putting on this one, but I don't really think that the market will stop here if the market really wants to fill up this space. What I'm thinking, that this market can easily do something like this. This market could just do something like this, down to the, come back to this particular demand zone, fill it up. You know that the market don't like space, fill it up. Then maybe it can now gather strength. Just take this particular scenario of, maybe you've seen where two rams are fighting. So when they go for a strike and they strike, remember, when they strike, they needed another momentum for them to strike again. So what they have to do is that the two ram has to go back. And what they are doing at that point, when they are going back, is to gather momentum to strike again. Because the moment they strike, they have been exhausted. They don't have that strength to strike again until they can be able to move backward. Once they've been able to move backward, that is when they can now gather another momentum to strike again. Similar to trading, this guy shoot up from here. So there is no more strength for him now to keep on shooting up. He has to pull back again, just like a ram, to gather another strength for him to be able to break and surpass this particular high. Until then, I'm not sure that this guy could be able to do anything. I'm not sure that this guy could be able to rally. There must be a pullback, and that pullback, I'm not saying that the pullback must definitely get to this particular demand zone. It can get to half of this particular zone here and rallied up. But this is my own scenario of what I'm keeping my eyes on. This is a very sharp demand zone that the market shoot off from. Ideally, the market coming back to come and fill up this space. As you know that the market don't like inefficiency, the market don't like space. Like you saw the market was, when the market was moving here, it was covering all the whole space, and this was a nice one. You can comfortably be going short if you're a day trader or a scalper, because the market was just moving, covering all the whole spaces, to compare to this one here that the market left a lot of spaces here and the market rallied up. So ideally, the market will have to come back to fill up this space for him to have another space to now take off this particular high. So for now we've confirmed that yes, the GBPUSD has given us a chart pattern, and we are waiting for the chart pattern to be confirmed in order for us to go long until it is able to break and sustain above here. We have one confirmation here, which is the trend line, and the market didn't came back to test the outer trend line of this particular breakout. It was a nice one, and the market gave us what we call an engulfing candle. This engulfing candle is massive. You can see that the engulfing candle, it engulf about how many days bearish candle? 1, 2, 3. It engulf about 3 days candle here. Is a very strong one, but we are still inside this inverse head and shoulder, not confirmed yet. Until we are able to take off this zone and sustain above it, that is where we can now say we are good to go. Until then, anything can still happen inside of this particular zone here. You remember when I called it last 2 weeks here, and the market did bleed down. I said until we take off this particular zone, taking off this counter trend line is not enough. We have this bad zone here that could still hinder us from going up, and that bad zone did hinder the market from going up. We went and create this pattern, and this pattern now is confirmed. Is not yet confirmed until this particular high also is taken out. Once it's taken out, we can now be able to look for a reasonable pullback, and we cannot join the trend. So on 4 hour, just wait for a decent pullback, maybe to this zone or inside half of here. If you can see anything inside here, I may not be able to update during the week. If you can see anything is either inside of here, inside of here or inside of this particular, any of this particular one here will be perfect. Then you cannot comfortably buy. You cannot comfortably buy in anticipation that this particular in anticipation that this particular neck will take off, because once GBPUSD is able to gather another strength, now definitely it will take off this particular high, and that will be it. So this is about GBPUSD. Let's quickly talk about USDCHF. USDCHF on the other hand, I was pained, because if you watch my video, I kept on updating this particular guy. I kept on updating. If you watch, you will see my analysis is still the same thing as before. I've not changed. My bias remain bearish, even when they were saying the double bottom on daily is a massive reversal pattern. I stick to what I said. I said the market is still bearish until proven otherwise. And the market also gave us this particular from higher high to lower low and lower high. So when I saw this formation, I knew for a fact, but I exited my trade. But I don't want to go into it for now, because I was pained. But that is one of the things we face as a trader. I exited my trade because of one or two things, and the market didn't collapse on Friday. So now, how to trade this guy now, because the pattern has been confirmed to us. We have this long one thing I hate, or in as much as I love when a strong bearish move happen like this, in as much as I love it, sometimes it favors you when you are in a trade in line with when this crash happened. But what I still hate about this is it gives room for a long pullback. What I mean a long pullback, because when we have a massive crash like this, what intends to happen is that the market always leaves space. The market always leaves space, and when it leaves space, is either it will leave a demand zone or a supply zone. So on this case now, in this case, I'll be mapping out my supply zones here. And if I know this guy too well, I've been trading this guy for some time now, and I've studied this guy too well. Whenever it crash like this, intend to still rally back to fill up spaces. Market don't like leaving spaces in the market. It tends to still shoot up again like this. It will be going as if it will not go. It will not go. It will not go. Before you know, the market will just be doing something like this. Before you know, the market will hit this particular supply zone. And once the market hits it, what it intend to do next is it will just come like this and do as if it wants to come down. This is a strategy. This is what this guy has been doing for some time. It will not fake out. It will not fake you out. Those who started selling early in this particular demand supply zone, and that is among one of the video I'm going to be doing this week about how to know a stop loss hunt on a demand and a supply zone. So what will now do is that it will not fake out here now. And once it's done faking out, what you see next is that it will just come down like this. If you check this guy, if you backtest this guy, you would know that this is what this guy has been doing lately for over 4 to 5 months now. This is this scenario that I just painted now. This is what this guy has been doing. So most time it will leave you without room of entry. He did it here. And I caught the move here, which I also posted. When I saw this particular pattern here, I caught it because of this evening star pattern that formed up here. So that is exactly the same thing this guy will also do. I'm not saying it will do it 100%. That is what I'm just anticipating for as a trader. You know, as a trader, we have to be versatile. We have to anticipate for things to happen. So now you have to be patient and wait for this particular, because I know a lot of traders will definitely miss this move, because that's why I didn't even give us a sign that it wants to collapse on Friday. Well, all of a sudden, it messed up my day on Friday, because I was at work when it happened, and I was so depressed. I was so messed up because I was on this trade sell. And I was also on good buy. But somehow I exited the whole trade on Friday early morning as of when I woke up. And in the afternoon time, we had this massive collapse. I was so depressed and I felt so bad. Friday and Saturday, I wasn't myself. I'm just recording this video about 11, close to 12 a.m. Close to 12 a.m. now. So this is when I get myself. I decided to do my weekly analysis now. So expect this on this particular guy. If these guys still have the strength to push up, expect this particular scenario on USDCHF. And finally, let's quickly, and once we're done, you know the targets. The targets still remain. That this is our first TP here. Our first TP still remain here to come and clear this liquidity here. Our first TP still remain here. Our second TP overall still remain here. You know how we do it here. This particular guy has given us the clear formation. It has broken below this particular trend line. So we need to wait for a proper pullback. A proper pullback inside the trend line and give us a change of trend again before we cannot be able to go short. And lastly, somebody called my attention. I will not be talking more about GBPJPY. So although I was in a trade on GBPJPY before the collapse happened, but that is about that. I will not be talking much on GBPJPY, but the analysis will still remain valid. That we will still be heading up. We'll still be heading up on GBPJPY, but I don't want to talk about GBPJPY for now. Let me quickly go over to somebody who called my attention on AUDCHF, because I don't trade AUDCHF. I just decided, okay, that I'm going to be doing a little analysis on AUDCHF. So as you can see, AUDCHF has been in a downtrend for long. The last time I traded AUDCHF was somewhere here. I think maybe somewhere here. That was the last time I traded this guy, somewhere here. So I couldn't remember, but now technically what we've been seeing that AUDCHF is still bearish. Let me quickly put in another trend line to see something here. Let me check whether it will rhyme. Okay, we have this collapse. Out of this particular trend line here, giving us it confirmed, because once a candlestick closes significantly below it, that means it's a confirmed breakout. We have this breakout out of this particular zone here. To the person who asked me, you can see now on 4 hours how to trade it. If I'm to enter this particular trade now, if I'm to enter on 4 hours, I will be waiting. Is either is either this guy can be able to come back to this particular trend line, if this guy can be able to come back to this particular trend line, and if not, we can have this particular minor, although this particular supply zone was not a good one. It was not. I just put in there, but it's not a good one. But you know that the chart is different. In MT5, it was clear on MT5, but on here it was not clear. So what you'll be waiting for is just for this guy to at least break this counter trend line. On 1 hour is more clear on 1 hour. You can see it clearly on 1 hour. You will just be waiting for. Be careful of stop loss run, because on this particular move now, the big boys know the fact that a lot of aggressive trader now will place their order here. So what they will do is just to fake it out like this and come to this trend line. And once they reach this trend line, what they do next is they just sell all the way from the trend line. They sell down, because one, they have gathered a lot of liquidity and they will not target this particular zone. So be careful about liquidity here. Once the liquidity is taken, and once stop loss run is taken out, then you can now say, but preferably if I'm to take this trade, I will wait for this particular counter trend line to be taken out. It's either on 1 hour or on 4 hour, depending on the one that is more suitable to me as of the time. So this video is getting too long, so let me quickly cut it here. So that is all for now. Please, if you like the way I teach, if you like the way I analyze the market, please do give me a thumbs up. And if you don't also like it, please give me a dislike. But also tell me in the comment box below what to do to improve in my next video. As you all know, nobody knows it all. I'm here to learn. You are here to learn. You learn from me, I learn from you, until we attain the level which I call the CPT, consistent profitable trader. I'm not totally there yet, and I know a lot of traders are also not totally there yet. Why not join me as we go together until we attain that level? I remain your boy, the Legend FX Academy, and please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much. I will see you in the middle of the week when I will be dropping my supply, when I will be dropping my supply and demand zone, supply and demand video on how to trade them, on how to master them. I remain your boy. Bye and peace out. And remember to keep it super simple. Remember to keep it super simple. Bye for now. I'm just messing up my lines, guys. Bye.